So this is not a good start post-prep and into my off-season. Yeah, I've been suffering with this injury for about the last 3 months. It came on just before my prep. I kind of powered through. I went on holiday and I thought my shoulder's okay. Still be playing up. Affects me when I do any kind of press movements. So bench press, overhead press, anything like that. It's recently started to affect any kind of vertical movements coming down, sort of your lat pull downs. So I then started getting some neck ache. So I thought now's the time to see a chiropractor. Went to the chiropractor yesterday and basically found out I've got some serious inflammation around the kind of posterior deltoid, all around there, all in that area. So it's really kind of affecting any kind of movement that I'm doing that involves that. The bad news is I'm not going to be able to train any kind of upper body movement for about 4 weeks at least. And that's purely just to give it some rest. I'm going to put on as much ice as possible and then slowly do a little bit of rehab work. So it could have been a lot worse. The chiropractor actually said if I carried on lifting over the next kind of 2 or 3 months and hadn't seen someone, there would potentially be a chance that I would have been out for about 6 months. So slightly looking on the positive side, it could be a lot worse. Just absolutely gutted. So training has been a big part of my life for the last kind of 3 or 4 years. I've always regularly gone. I've never had a large period like this out before, so it's very new to me. If, like myself, you've been training for a long time, it's just your daily habit. That's what you do. So it's going to feel very, very strange not training for that amount of time. I've also got a lower back problem that I've been dealing with that hopefully should be sorted over the next 2 weeks, but that means I can't even go to the gym to train lower body, and I'm just basically got to play it out. Goal of competing in 2020, I've got to look after my body now, because if I power through and just ignore what everybody says, you know, I could potentially be out for, like you said, 6 months, and that's going to make a massive dent into my potential prep that I'm going to do in 2020. It's so frustrating as well because I was then into my off season. I started to progress with some numbers. I was slowly getting a little bit heavier at a controlled rate. Numbers were going up, and then I started feeling the area again. That's when I was just like, you know what, I've got to do something. I can't keep ignoring the pain. So a little blow, but I'd rather this happen now than when I'm on prep or anything like that. So yeah, not too bad. So what am I going to do? So the very first one is going to be rest. Just resting from the gym. So I'm going to take the rest of this week off. It's currently Thursday. I'm seeing the chiropractor again on Monday. And then I'm going to reassess from there. I'm also going to apply ice as much as possible. So when I'm at home, I'm just going to sit there with an ice bag, kind of like what I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to sit there and apply that as much as possible. So that's when I'm going to start doing some light resistant band work, kind of strengthening around that area before I actually start doing sort of heavy resistance. In the day, if I start going crazy and going straight back into the weight that we're doing, I'm just going to get injured again, and that's the last thing that I want. I'd rather have 4 weeks off than 4 months. And then going forward, within sort of 3 or 4 weeks, if I had no problems at all, I'm again not going to go crazy. It's going to be a controlled approach. I'm going to probably continue seeing the chiropractor just to see where I'm at and just manage it the best way possible. So what am I not going to do? Okay, and this is what I suggest when you're suffering from an injury. It's so important not to do. So going crazy with foods. So it's so important not to go too low with an injury like this. So don't turn to foods as kind of like comfort eating. Just realise that this is only short term. Also, if you're going to be a little bit less active in the gym, just maybe drop your calories a little bit, just by 200 or 300 that you'd probably be burning off at the gym. And make sure you don't turn to food choices that you wouldn't normally have. Don't go to the local supermarket and go crazy with foods. Just enjoy what you're kind of having already, and just think in 4 weeks' time you're going to be straight back into it. Don't let a small injury like this affect your long-term goal. At the end of the day, you've always got that. You've still got so much time on your side. 4 weeks to some people is a lot, and to myself that still feels like a lot of time that I could have been progressing in. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Think of your long-term goal all the time. It's such a long way away. You've worked so hard to get what kind of where you're at the moment. Keep progressing from that. At the end of the day, as cliche as it is, but this will make you stronger. Sorting out the problem now rather than later will be so much more beneficial. Don't lose sight of that long-term target. At the moment, the things might be shit, but when you actually get to that target, you look back on this and be like, you know, I dealt with that in the right way. Make sure you don't look back with a little bit of regret, going crazy with foods, or just completely slacking off training. Keep that mindset and keep that mentality. And finally, stay active. So your activity is going to be decreased a lot if you're not going to the gym and you're not doing cardio. Make sure you're always staying active. Don't just sit at home doing nothing. Get out and about, do what you can. So that's just a little update on my injury and the steps I'm going to take over the next few weeks. So I hope this video has helped a few people that have had injuries before or have had injuries in the past. At the end of the day, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. Just remember that long-term target. This is very short time. You're going to get through it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.